Oh. Okay, it's showing you guys. How do I turn it around? There it is. Okay. Hello out there. We are working at some guy. Can you help me with this?
Some guy.
I can't. Lucy. Yeah. Which way?
You put it in the tissue
Yeah,
box.
there we go.
The camera's sticking out.
Thank you. That probably helped too.
How many adults does it take?
Okay. Can somebody do this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this tight enough?
Yeah.
Well, if you want to have we'll just put it on the tray. Put it on the...
Okay, thank you. All right, we're here. Hello, people. All right, so we've had a little bit of technical set us up situation here. Am I on? Am I live? So if someone out there in virtual land can confirm that you can see and hear me, that would be fabulous. As always, it's just a joy to interact with technology. I love technology and technology loves me. And we're on. Okay, good. So we have our guest musician, Andrew, here. I'm Karen, and let's just take a moment and go within and get clear about why we're here. So in this moment, we realize that anything is possible, and that all we have to do is to expect great demonstrations, expect tremendous healing, expect this meeting, this day, to be so valuable that you are forever changed by the good that is here. And so I invite you to enter into your heart and connect with that something within and become aware of what it is that is your heart's desire. Why did you come here? What good do you desire to receive? And instead of saying, no, 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 too much, not possible, say, yes. I am open to receive all the good that the divine loving creator has for me here and now. And the amount of that good is infinite. And so having set our intention, we have set our course. And we now relax and allow that intention to be fulfilled through our music, through our speakers, through our practitioners, through the presence of this beloved company. And so it is.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So, I don't know, I was thinking about what to start with. I think I'll start with this one. Because really, we're all on this road to becoming something, hopefully, something better, something you're more content with, more comfortable with. And it was written in response to the church turning their back on the LGBTQ community. And to me, it was thinking that we're all coming out in some sort of way, whether we're saying, I'm going to start that diet tomorrow, it's like, or I'm going to change my mind on this political candidate or whatever. We're all kind of declaring our truth, whatever it is. And I would hate to have somebody turn their back on me because of my truth. So this is called becoming. I try not to be specific. I don't like to be so bland, 'cause things never seem to turn out the way you want it in the end. They say it's not about the ending, but the way that you get through. Responses to the problem that the world throws at you. It's all about becoming, stumbling upon the person you were meant to be, and the road you're walking on. It's all about becoming. It's all about becoming. There are those who seem to have it all together, something like that. Those who always seem to know the reason they were put here, what direction they should go. The rest of us are left to wander, simply do the best we can. Do we keep missing the signal? We fail to understand. It's all about becoming, wandering upon the person we were meant to be, the road we're walking on. It's all about becoming. And the sun will rise tomorrow, so I've learned to keep the faith. I'm still learning how to live, and I'm learning how to wait. When the world is unforgiving, all you hear is doubt. No problems usually have a way, just working themselves out. So I try not to be specific, I don't like to be so planned. Things never seem to turn out the way you want it in the end. It's all about becoming, stumbling upon the person you were meant to be, the road you're walking on. It's all about becoming. It's all about becoming. All about becoming. Thank you.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Regina Quince, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Princeton. We are a loving, healing, and inclusive community which teaches and practices the principles of science of mind for the well-being and spiritual growth of ourselves and the world. Growth. I love the word growth. And thank you, Andrew, for coming here and being our musician for the day. Thank you very much. And listening to your song, the lyrics. I just happen to have this in my purse. Begin again, again, and again. So, begin again, and again, and again. All right. Within your own mentality, there lies a source of energy stronger than electricity, more potent than high explosives, unlimited and inexhaustible. You only need to make conscious contact with it to set it working in your affairs. So that's to you. And then I'm going to mention a quick new practice that I've started. And it's a forgiveness mantra. So everyone who done you wrong, or you done wrong, Here's the mantra. I bless you. I love you. I forgive you. I release you. And once you finish that, you thank Spirit Divine for whatever you want to thank Spirit for. So you do the mantra and you do the thanks. All right? We're good?
Perfect.
Okay, good. Let's talk about some announcements. John Heron is having a wonderful class on visioning. It started last Tuesday, and you're welcome to drop it. So you can, the course of it, it's on our, I think, Facebook page. So you can see the cost of it and the drop-in cost of it. So I would recommend that you join the visioning class because that is one of our practices. To vision, to feel the accomplishment, the demonstration, the manifestation of what you so desire. You feel it. You see it in mind's eye. And that is a part of the nurturing of that vision for you, provided by Spirit Divine, to allow it to be here fully in your experience. Vision. Okay, and I see Damaris is on there, Jeff is on there, and Mary. Mary, hi Mary. Okay. So thank you, and thank you to Reverend Karen for her technology.
Yes, thank you.
Pardon us for our not being able to get on, but Reverend Karen just so happened to be our speaker for today. So thank you, Reverend Karen, for not only being our speaker, but she loves technology, and technology loves her. Thank you. And so, I think, Andrew, are you coming up to do us another? Yeah, you're up here again.
That's fine.
Thank you, everyone.
So I'm going to go off of what you said about beginning and beginning again. I've often wondered how people can be together for so long and then one of them passes away. You know, these couples that are together for 50 odd years and then somebody passes away and you think, how could they ever move on to someone else? And they managed to do it. Love finds this way. This is a song about that. It's called Let a New Love In. Slid into the cabin, old man, dressed up to the nines. He had a small bouquet of flowers and a worried mind. Said, I've got a lady waiting at that new restaurant uptown. I'm a little late for our first real date. I don't want to let her down. He said, my name is Eddie. Said her name is Rose. I met her in the frozen foods. Ain't it funny how life goes? I asked her out to dinner. I'd swear I lost my mind. 'Cause I don't know how dating goes. Thought I'd left that all behind. So leave it all behind. Or never let it go. It's part of who you are now. Yeah, it's everything you know. So take it out and look it over every now and then. You don't have to lose the old. So let a new love in. Just let a new love in. She was waiting at the restaurant, feeling insecure, wading through the memories that once were him and her, and how to separate yourself from something so entwined. I don't know how to do this. How do I leave it all behind? Leave it all behind. I'll never let it go. It's part of who you are now, yeah. Well, it's everything you know. So take it out, look it over every now and then. You don't have to lose the old to let a new love in. Let a new love in. And it all fell into place. When she looked up, saw his face, and he notices her grace as she stands for an embrace. They fell into conversation just as easy as it pleased. Found extra room inside their hearts, and it put their minds at ease. They talked about their lovers lost, what they missed the most. She raised her glass, he raised his, and they made a simple toast. Toast to leave it all behind, I'll never let it go. It's part of who you are now, yeah, it's everything you know. So take it out and look it over every now and then. You don't have to lose the old, so let a new love in. Let a new love in. Let a new love in. Oh, just let a new love in.
Bravo. Thank you. Oh, boy. One of the things I love about how Spirit operates is the synchronicity that occurs between speakers. And that touched me.
Yeah.
That really touched me. And those of you that know me know why it touched me. So, thank you, Andrew. So I'm POD, Practitioner of the Day. You know my name, said it before. And this is a quote I read this morning, and I'm going to share it with you. When the time comes that nothing goes forth from you other than that which you would be glad to have return, then you will have reached your heaven. And that's from Ernest Holmes' This Thing Called You. So I'm going to read to you. I've been switching back and forth. Which one? So I keep going back to the action of God fills my life. And this is from 365 Days of Richer Living. There is a purpose and a plan in all creation. The divine intelligence has always known what it was doing. It now knows why it created me, and it is urging me to fulfill my destiny. All of the action of God is where I am and is in action through me at every instant. What I need is seeking me. What I want, I now have. For all of God is mine. Infinite mind acts in fullness through its creation, and I am impelled to right action. Now I'm going to switch to the other one. I am spirit. The image and likeness of God must be a perfect expression of spirit, and I am that expression now. Therefore, I use my body with wisdom, but I am not limited by it. It is effect, not cause. God's true knowledge of me is that I am a spiritual being using body as vehicle. The spirit within me is now in full control of my body. It renews it, repairs it, and glorifies it. My body responds to these spiritual ministrations and is radiant with health and vitality. Now we're going to go back to the other one. The full action of God in my life is perfect peace. The thoughts of God working in my consciousness maintain me in poise and harmony. Order greets me wherever I go. I am balanced by truth, and the words that I speak give evidence of my conviction that God acts through me. And so I will give an affirmative prayer, which we call a spiritual mind treatment. Acknowledging the one, this creative being, the innovator, the peacemaker, this power of good that created each one in its image and likeness, that has embodied each one with its attributes, its character, its power, its harmony, its order, its abundance, flows into each one's experience easily and effortlessly. It seeds each one's ideas with good. And each one acts on this, nurtures it, accepts it, allows it to be here fully. Each one is motivated, opinionated about the good that truth is in each one's life. And in those moments of hesitancy, doubts, maybe fears, each one blesses, loves, forgives, and releases. For each one accepts that each one is the I am that I am. The creative being within each one, favored, adorned by this creator. So each one feels the gratitude pouring through them for this great experience called life and living. and joy and peace. So this word, these words are sent to law, where law does its thing. And say with me, and so it is. Namaste.
How perfect is this?
And more with Andrew.
Ta-da. Okay. So I was trying to decide what to play next, and you said "I am" several times, and I have a song called "I Am," which I wrote just for this occasion. Now, so I came home. I was at an open mic one night, and I came home, and the rain. Deluge does not begin to describe the rain that came down. It was one of these moments where, you actually had to pull over and just stop and be, because it was so torrential. And it was just such a powerful moment for whatever reason. And I tried to write about this rain, and I started a song, and I was like, oh, dancing in the deluge. I thought that was a nice image and stuff. And, this voice just went, no, stop. Write this. So I did. Mere walls cannot confine me. Lord, keep me within bounds. Grasping hands will never find me. Feet will never touch my ground. I am the wind, oh, I am the water. I am the kin to Mother Nature's daughter. I am the reason, oh, I am the rain. I am the season gone around again. Oh, I am. Oh, I am. I'm not one to be handled by the hands of mortal man. I am shifting just like sand will. I take the shape of where I am. I am the wind, oh, I am the water. I am the kin to Mother Nature's daughter. I am the reason, oh, I am the rain. I am the seasons gone around again. Oh, I am. Oh, I am. Men and women contemplate me, and I keep them close enough. Taste and sense me. I laugh so smooth, but to them I am rough. I am the wind, oh, I am the water. I am the kin to Mother Nature's daughter. I am the reason, oh, I am the rain. I am the seasons gone around again. Oh, I am. Oh, I am. Oh, I am. Oh, I am. Thank you very much. I apologize for messing up the words. Someone actually was nice enough to write. I love that song, "Let a New Love In." So thank you very much, Marilyn. I'm very distracted. Thank you very much.
Yes, very distracted. I get it. Okay, so hello. I am delighted to be here again with all of you, and our topic this day is fear to faith, and it was inspired by my misreading of a suggestion of someone gave me. Someone gave me moving from doubt to faith, and I saw fear to faith, and so here it is, and here we are. So let's deal with it. Because if we are growing, we will always have to deal with fear. Always. Always. So you can see trying to avoid fear or feeling fear is not a good goal, because fear accompanies us whenever we move into territory where we have never been. Because we don't know where we are. We don't know what we need to do. We don't know the signs. We don't know our way. And so fear rises up in us to help us be more alert. I have to pay attention. I have to realize I don't know my way. I have to realize I'm taking a risk. Taking a risk. And we take our risks when we are clear that our greater good requires us to take that risk. Growing is always taking a risk. We always have to leave our comfort zone. We always have to leave what we expect, what we're used to. We, as I think I spoke last week, we actually have to leave our personality behind. And we're having some interesting noise here. Life is full of wonderful surprises. And so it's good. Okay.
You're doing fine.
As we living requires always becoming, and Andrew sang that song, becoming more and more of who we really are. I'm using two books. The first one is Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers. And I have a little background story about Susan Jeffers, which I'll just insert here, whether it's relevant or not. It's interesting. I was listening to another audiobook written by someone else who was sharing an experience he had and mentioned, and Susan Jeffers was there. So what he was sharing was an activity that he does in workshops and had done and experienced in his own workshop of, at the end of getting clear about who you want to become and what more of yourself that you want to be, what these workshops do, and we can do it too, is have a dress-up party where you come as who you plan to become. So you dress as who you plan to become, and you show up at the party fully equipped with even the materials, the activities, everything that is about who you want to become. And so if someone wanted to be a stockbroker, so he had a cell phone with him and someone from outside who would periodically call him, and he would say, oh, yes, right, sell 20 shares or 20,000 shares. I'm sorry, it was big. They would think of big. Sell 20,000 shares. And they would be going around and introducing themselves as to all that they've accomplished since 5 years ago, that last workshop, and what they're doing now, and what they have now, what they have achieved. And he did this actually with some high school students, and there were two shyer students off in the corner. Everybody was all excited and sharing who they are, famous movie stars and Broadway producers. And the two quieter people in the corner, one was an accountant, a successful accountant. The other one was a successful lawyer. So he brought those two shy people and brought them to the famous singer and said, you're going to need a really good accountant and a really good lawyer, and here they are. And it actually had a result on those students in that the next day he saw them in school, and they had become current friends. Whereas before, the one who wanted to become the accountant and the lawyer were kind of left out of the inner popular circle. Now they were brought in. The reason why I shared this was Susan Jeffers was in one where he was, and both of them were acting as if they were best-selling authors. And Susan was talking about the 5 different books that she had published and that were best-selling, and she had not had written anything before that. The reason why that is interesting is because in this workshop, that last activity of acting as if, each one had to actually experience the joy of becoming their true selves and the self that has moved through all the fears and all of the challenges, so that as they then embarked on their experience of living and growing into who they decided they wanted to become, they knew that the outcome was guaranteed. They already had a feeling of what that final becoming experience was. And so that they knew, I can face the fears because I know I'll be able to deal with them. And I think it's Susan Jeffers. Let me see. I have it here. She says that at the bottom of all our fears is a belief. She says, at the bottom of every one of your fears is simply the fear that you can't handle whatever life may bring you. So whether it's something wonderful that you have a fear of success or a fear of moving forward in your life, as Andrew's saying, in letting a new life in, if there's a fear of that, or if there's fear that something horrible will happen, at the bottom of it is a belief that you cannot handle the greater good or the bad thing that you might fear. Years ago, I got one of those little sticky sign things, and I stuck it on my mirror, and it's still there, and it gets, it needs cleaning periodically. It is a mirror in my bedroom. And it says, with God, all things are possible. And I need that reminder because my fears come up when I believe I can't handle it. I might not be able to handle the disappointment. I might not be able to handle the success. I might be overwhelmed with all the new stuff to do, or I just might, fall into a depression and be unable to get myself out. I might get my heart hurt. I might stub my toe. I might lose my earthly life. All these are fears, justifiable fears sometimes, but at the root of all of them is the belief I cannot handle it. I had gone hiking on my little vacation a couple of weeks ago, and as we're hiking through the Adirondack Mountain, one of the lead hiker reminded me, now when you might not remember this, but when you step on top of a log or a stone, and I'm like, yep, got it. I remember it, and I've already been operating with it. There might be a snake or something on the other side when you put your foot down. So when you step onto something, be aware you've shaken up whatever was underneath that log, and when you go down, watch where you're putting your foot. Now, I don't like meeting snakes. And if I were an expert in snakeology, right? I'm sure there's a word, right? Anybody know what it is?
Yeah, give me a second.
Herpetologist. Oh, thank you, Andrew. Herpetologist. Okay. So, if I were a herpetologist, I would not be afraid of snakes. I would understand them. I would understand their habits. I would know what to do. I would know how to handle myself if I came across them. And so that fear of snakes would be lost. It would be gone. It just wouldn't be there anymore. But me, knowing that they could be there, But being an experienced hiker, I knew how to prepare myself so that I don't step on them. I'm prepared. I watch where I go. So I had a great deal of confidence in knowing I could handle avoiding them. If one actually shows up, I also know that I would go, whatever, and I would trust that the hike leader would know how to handle it. Rightly or wrongly. But it was enough of a faith that I could handle what comes up for me that made me able to take the hike up the mountain with confidence and with enjoyment. Right? So see, that belief that we're not going to be able to handle it, according to Susan Jeffers, is at the bottom of all our other fears. And there's other things that she points out come up for us before we get to that point of I'm not going to be able to handle it. Let's see if I can find that. Yeah, so she calls them level 1 fears. So they're fears about what might happen, or fears about things that require action, like making decisions or changing a career. Those are things that require action. But then there's fears about things that might happen: becoming disabled, a disaster, dying, war. And then she's got level 2 fears, which are deeper. That fear of being rejected, a fear of success, a fear of being conned, a fear of loss of image. But below it all, I can't handle it. Now, I gave you my little bathroom mantra there. With God, all things are possible. And so both she and this other book that I've brought with me, Fearless Living by Rhonda Britton. She also talks about fear a little bit. And what came to me as I was preparing for this was that in love, right? In love, there is no fear, right? We say, love casts out all fear. Love as a quality of the divine. Now, synonyms for the divine are love, peace, order, harmony, intelligence, joy, truth. Truth. Not facts. Truth. At that level of the absolute, with God, with love, with truth, with peace, with beauty, these divine qualities, with a realization, recognition, acceptance, with the guidance of any of these divine qualities, all things for me are possible. Things become our facts. So when I'm talking about truth, I mean the truth that sets us free from fear, from confusion, from doubt, from being paralyzed. It sets us free to be our true selves, which are infinite and much more than the details, the particular aspects of our lives. So with truth, all things are possible. So for me, whenever I choose to grow beyond my I know who I am, Karen, comfort zone, to become the greater Karen that's calling me, and that greater Karen that I really don't know what to do with. Like you come to a place like this, or you sit and you meditate and you have this full feeling of I am that I am, and then you open your eyes and you come back to earth and you're like, and now what do I do with it? Right? Have you had that experience? Like, I am that I am. I'm set free. I'm clear now. I know everything now. I get it now. And now what do I do with it? So it's that divine truth that we need to recognize and then bring it into our experience or moving forward into our world so that we are guided to do what we don't know how to do. I don't know how to be my more loving self. I try things out. I get some weird looks by people. Maybe that's not the way to express my more loving self in the world. Okay, then what other way? Because we have to accept that, as I think again it's Susan Jeffers who said, whenever we move out of our comfortable personality self, all our inner sense of survival, and oh no, I can't handle it, it's all on alert, and the fear will show up. So, but when we grow means I'm going to move outside of my comfort zone. And I don't know how to be that. We will never know how to be who we truly are in our new world outside of our comfort zone. Our comfort zone is what we know about ourselves. We've used it up, we've outgrown it, we've done all we can with it. Something's calling us to be more loving, more joyous, more peaceful, more successful, more abundant, more prosperous, healthier, freer, more expressive, more of a leader, more of engaged in the world, more of a peacemaker, something more. Being who you are, and yet you don't know how to do it. And so fear tells us we don't know how to do it. But it's never, ever, 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 ever divine guidance. The only divine guidance in fear is, woohoo, I'm taking a risk, and I need more of the divine to guide me through. I don't know how to do this. But something within me does know how to do it. And I'm going to feel the fear and do it anyway. But not on my own. I'm calling on truth, on wisdom to show me the way. I'm listening. As soon as we near our comfort zone and we feel that fear, we want to realize, aha, I now have to adopt the beginner mindset. I need to learn. I need to pay attention. I need to take notes. I need to ask for help. I need to ask other people their opinion. I need to ultimately, in our spiritual practice, what we need more of than else is I need to know the truth that will set me free. Divine truth. And if we're still feeling the fear and unable to move, right? I've been there and probably am there, right? In some aspect of my life, right? Aren't you there somewhere and you're unable to move? Other areas, you're feeling the fear and you're moving anyway. But others you're like, and when you're, I think it's her book. Yeah. So this Rhonda Britton, her book is, she gives a whole description of symptoms that mean you're on your wheel of fear. She gives a whole list. So in case you're not sure if you're in fear or not, okay, if you're impatient, exhausted, self-righteous, misunderstood, paranoid, paralyzed, shame, defeated, out of control, confused, overwhelmed, victimized. Just some of little signs. You're dealing with fear. That's all. Oh, no, it's fear. Running out the way that it runs out in you. Because all there is, right, in the forces of life is love. That's the only creative force, and then the denial of love, which creates fear in us. That's it. So we move forward to that which we love, and fear keeps us from moving. And so there was a point I was going to make in all this. Let me see if it comes back. So we are desiring to grow, because that's what life is. Can't get away from it. And we're nearing the edge of what we know about ourselves. And the guidance of fear showing up is to let us know we're growing. Get back to beginner mind, pay attention, and what truth am I going to realize here? What is the truth that will set me free? The greater truth about my life that will set me free. Maybe the greater truth that we always will learn is, with God, I can handle it. With God, I can face it. Dr. Ernest Holmes, in his textbook, The Science of Mind, he says at one point, he believes maybe the whole world is just has one fear. Anybody know what he says that fear is? The fear that God will not be there for us. If you know I can jump off the cliff and God will catch me, I will jump off the cliff. But I don't believe that right now, so I'm not jumping off the cliff, and probably wisely so. But I know my greater good is to engage and get involved in a new relationship. I know my greater good is to accept that new responsibility in life. I know my greater good is to seek advice, assistance from someone in the medical profession. Something in us knows the next step for us to take for our greater good. And when it's outside of our comfort zone, we want to acknowledge all the feelings of fear that come up and all of our behaviors that arise in us whenever we feel fear. And all of the emotions that we feel, I'm overwhelmed, I can't do too much, all of the behaviors that we engage in, video games. Let me catch up on those emails. I've been listening to yet another, so many audiobooks this week, but another audiobook, it was I think it's called the life-changing power, the life-changing magic of tidying up. Even she says, have you ever noticed that when you have to study for an exam, you have this desperate need to put your desk in order? And we've all had that experience, right? You know, we need to prepare for something in our lives, and we got to clean our house first. We got to, we have to take a shower first. We have to do all these other things. But what she pointed out, what we need to realize is that there's that urge to move forward, and the fear is going to be there, and it's going to, if we're not aware, if we're not alert and aware of the existence of that fear and aware of the games we play when we've got that fear, if we're not aware of all that, we will be stymied. I don't think I've ever said that word before in my life. Okay, so we need to be aware that the unconscious in us, the unconscious self built from our past, will always want to stop us because the unconscious part of our personality is threatened. But there's something deeper than that personal unconscious of us, which is, some call it that supraconscious in us, that higher self within us, which is conscious and which is wanting to be let out. I am that I am wants to become. And that supraconscious part of us does not want to believe or experience limitation of any way, and it doesn't want us to use fear to say no and stop it up. That super higher self within us, if not expressed ever, it'll create blockages in our lives, in our bodies, in our world. It will eventually erupt in some sort of cataclysmic way. And that superconscious part of us wants that true I am, that truth of who we are, wanting to express more of itself through us, in us, as us, right? Confronted with that unconscious, no, I can't, I feel bad, I'm scared, I get whatever, fine, love yourself, forgive yourself, bless yourself, appreciate yourself, and move forward, right? Or God, you got to give me more, more support, more love, and moving forward, right? But it can even create problems in our earthly world, so that it looks like, oh, I'm ready to move forward, but so-and-so's not cooperating, or the economy just went to heck, or they locked us all down and I'm stuck in my house with a mask on my head. I mean, we can see all of these negative symptoms erupting in our conditional world as blockages to expressing more of ourselves. But as we become more aware of who we are and what's going on with us, we can also see that these outer things that are happening actually are getting created by our own unconscious aspect of ourselves to protect us, because we're afraid. I'm sure there were some people on this planet a few years ago, with lockdown when it happened, was unaffected by it. They kept moving forward with their plans, with what they were doing. They came up with creative solutions. Or I am sure there were some people on this planet who didn't even know anything happened. It wasn't me. And I haven't met them yet, but I'm sure they existed. But what we want to realize is that with God, with love, with truth, anything and everything is possible. Even facing my fears, even not knowing what to do and learning how to do it and becoming quite good at the new thing that I am doing. With truth, all of this is possible. So we can certainly read these books and other books, and they give lots of practical human behavioral tips on how to handle things. And I think they're great, with tons and tons of exercises. But coming here to the Center for Spiritual Living, Princeton, being a student of truth, right? That's what we are. We have licensed practitioners here, but all of us are practitioners. We practice living, applying, and experimenting with truth. And for those of us who have stuck with it, I know the truth, I know the truth, I know the, not the facts, not the situation, whatever. Whenever someone tells me of a particular horrible diagnosis that they have, I'm immediately saying, not a word of truth to it, not a word of truth to it. I'm not talking about the facts, I'm not talking about the statistics, I'm not talking about anything. I'm talking about the truth. It's not the truth, it's not the truth, it's a misunderstanding, it's a misreading. And now, everything is different, right? The diagnosis, the x-ray, the chart, whatever they saw, that's already past. It's not right now looking at it. No, that's all the past. Past are facts. Past and facts change. So I'm knowing the truth. The truth is only love, the one creative force. I know that. And I know that as each and every one of us face our fears, truth will always set us free of every single fear. Any fear, and Dr. Ernest Holmes also wrote this in the textbook, that we fully face and take a really good look at it and think about what we're really believing about it. Any fear that we really, not avoid, not in denial about having it, but I'm feeling fear. Why? Because I'm confused. I'm feeling fear. Why? Because I'm feeling anxiety. Because I've got too much to do and I don't know what to do with it. Whenever any of those things are operating on us, what we realize is it's fear. Then what do I need to face? Because I know there is a truth to be known that will cause what I have to face to evaporate. Face it. Feel it. She says here in her other section, the fear will never go away as long as I continue to grow. Another truth about fear, the only way to get rid of the fear of doing something is to go out and do it. The only way to feel better about myself is to go out and do it. Not only am I going to experience fear whenever I'm on unfamiliar territory, but so is everyone else. And pushing through fear is less frightening than living with the underlying fear that comes from a feeling of helplessness, right? Which is, I can't handle it. And the truth that I add, the truth that I add is the only way to get rid of the fear is to know the truth that I don't know. The truth that I don't know. Not knowing the truth that's there for me to know is why I'm afraid. And with God, truth, I can know it. Right? All right, so let's take that in and contemplate that while we move forward into our gratitude practice. And I will come back and do a spiritual mind treatment to allow us to be much more confident in facing our future selves and any fear that might go along with it. Here's Regina.
I just want to clap. With Reverend Karen, gave us a session years ago. And it was a fear, maybe it was a fear to faith. And one of the things she said was you push against your comfort zone. You push against it. And only this day, this moment, this talk, did I envision God opening up. As I was pushing against, God opened it up and say, I go with you. I go with you. So that's what we need to understand. God goes with us as we go through that fear. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't want to say this is another fear, but abundance, prosperity, working with the law of circulation. We are here in this center, in this location, because of you, all of you. It is through your generosity that we get to be here fully. It's your support. It's you giving to us and we giving to you and you giving to us and we giving to you. So we thank you for allowing us to be a community in love, as love, for joy. And you can donate by by going to our website, cslprinceton.org, and clicking on that donation button. We are absolutely so grateful that you want us here, because we want us here. Let's go. And And Andrew's going to play a little music for us. Thanks, everybody. Reverend Karen.
All right. I want to share also, Marie Kondo also says that one of the reasons that we live with clutter, or really any object that is no longer useful or that no longer brings you joy, is to avoid having to deal with what we really have to deal with. More fear. Do you see all your clutter? I don't know if you, like attracts like, so knowing who I am, I suspect I've got some clutter bugs here, whatever, but that's okay. Right? We praise and raise ourselves, right? But to see my clutter as an escape from feeling fear. All right, so having said that, let me do a spiritual mind treatment now. So this word is being spoken for each one. All there is love. One presence, God, the all-good, the absolute truth that declares, I am that I am. I am that I am is the cause, the creator, the substance, and the manifestation of this entire universe. That one presence, loving presence, is omnipresent. There is not a spot where love is not. There is not a spot where the all-good is not. There is not a spot where God is not. And so right now, right where each one is, all the love, all the light, all the truth, all the power, all the peace, all the harmony, all the good is present. And right now where each one is, lying beyond each one's comfort zone, is also all the light, all the love, all the truth, all the peace, all the harmony, all the good of that one infinite omnipresence. And right now where each one is, the path from here to outside of that comfort zone, along that path, God is with each one, with all the light, all the love, all the power, all the peace, all the guidance, all the truth, all the support, all the blessings, all of the fulfillment, all the people, the places, the things, all that is required to know that the divine loving presence is present, is there. And so each one is able to be right where he or she is, right here and right now, and enjoy being here. And simultaneously in this moment, each one is able to be outside of that comfort zone, right here and right now, living and loving and enjoying all that's here. And right now, each one is able to take all of those steps from here to here in harmony, in peace, and whether there is a feeling of fear at all present, and as well as any manifestation of that fear might take, whether it be doubt or anxiety or confusion or overwhelm. No, in every single step, in every single possible diversion, in every call to take a detour, that divine presence is there. with all of its love, all of its truth, all of its guidance, all of its support, all of its peace, all of its power, all of its harmony, all of its order, all of its perfect right action. All this is true. And each one knows at the very inner core of each one's being, with God, all things are possible, and God is here for me, and God shall be there for me, and that which has brought me this far shall absolutely bring me the rest of the way. Each one is knowing this, embodying this, trusting this, and each one is better able to take a breath and lean in and move forward and face all that needs to be faced in that ongoing, continuous process of growing and becoming and expressing more and more of who each one truly is. This word is the truth, and boy, am I glad it's the truth. So I release this word to that loving law. I know it's been done. I know that my word is law. It's done. Letting it go. We say together, and so it is. And that's the way it is. And this is just the beginning. And Andrew, take us away.
Take us away? You're all under arrest. Well, I wasn't planning on doing this, but your talk inspired me. So I've had a lot of inner struggle with music, which is not, it sounds worse than it is. It's just a deal of how much of it is ego. And, like, everyone look at me. I'm a musician, But the way I've looked at it is I've been given this gift, and I need to share it. So I've tried to embrace that and be more open to that. And back there, I do have CDs, and it's not, I don't say that for money. I say that because if the music does something for you, please take it. There's a love offering, if you can, a love offering. But really, it's mostly if the music heals you somehow, please take it with you. This song was written because when I turned 25 was really hard for me. I know people talk about now 30. But here's the thing. Okay. I thought when I was 25 I would know if I would have a musical career or not, And I turned 50 last year, and I went, wow, here I am twice as old and still not there, But I feel like, I've grown a lot as a person, and I've grown a lot. And yes, I'm pushing that comfort zone. I'm getting out. I am playing more. I hate to ask for a show. I hate to push myself. What separates me from someone else? I don't know. That's my honest answer. But anyway, this is called A Change is Overdue. At 25, not what I planned at 50. How will it be at 75? Quarter century ahead of me. Time keeps ticking, life keeps slipping away from me. I'm not quite there, far from where I want to be. There's so much more that I want to do, and I don't know how, but I'll stumble through. Feel it in my bones that this is true. Change is overdue. The world just seems to set me up at the edge of opportunity. Never found the nerve to jump over doubt and insecurity. The time keeps ticking, life keeps slipping away from me. And I'm not quite there, far from where I want to be. Well, there's so much more that I want to do, and I don't know how, but I'll stumble through. I feel it in my bones that this is true. Change is over. Do what you want to do. got nothing left to lose. No, it's not about your pride. Reach deep inside, decide, decide. Oh, not what I wanted at 25, not what I want at 50. But every day is a brand new day to be the you all you want to be. There's so much more I want to do, and I don't know how, but I'll stumble through. I feel it in my bones that this is true. Change is overdue. Thank you so much for having me today. Ooh, sorry to shake the whole stand. Thank you so much for having me today. I appreciate it.
Okay, all right. Okay, so that's it, folks. Thank you all. Jeff, okay, so we'll read. Jeffrey Starbuck said, "We step trembling into the next unknown instant, sensing that divine presence within and all around us." And Deborah Taylor, "Feel the fear and do it anyway." Damaris, Mary, Marilyn, thank you all for watching. And now I say goodbye.